let me say this. There's a lot of okay, first of all, this is a channeled message that I just kind of had to come on and do, because I'm noticing a lot of stuff happening to me, and it's really interesting. I'm always very affected by what the moon is, what's happening with the moon. I'm a Cancerian. I'm a triple Cancerian. My moon is in Cancer, so highly sensitive to it. We just had a new moon in Sagittarius. That's not such a big deal. The moon tends to be playful in Sagittarius. But here's the thing. The new moon, was conjunct to Mercury retrograde, in opposition to Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. Mercury is not comfortable in Sagittarius to begin with, because it's at its fall. It's at detriment because it's in its opposite sign. What does that mean? It means Mercury is the natural ruler of Gemini, and Gemini sits directly opposite on the zodiac wheel from Sagittarius. So Jupiter is also in its detriment, because Jupiter is in Gemini, which is its direct opposite on the wheel. So you have Mercury in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde, in their detriment houses, in opposition to each other, conjuncting this new moon that is square to Saturn and semi-square to Venus. Let me tell you something. We are feeling the crunch, my friends. We are feeling the crunch. And I can feel it in my body. Like, with me, it's overeating. Because Venus is also trine to Uranus. And normally that's really fun energy, playful, fun. But it's because of where she is. She's in Capricorn. She's not comfortable in Capricorn. She's semi-square to Saturn. Saturn is square to Jupiter. She's also semi-square to this new moon in Sagittarius. This is the sense of we're overindulging, we're acting out, we're acting rebellious with this stupid little shit, these little thrills that we're getting now. And Venus trine Uranus doesn't last long. So even though you might find some temporary fun, it's not something that lasts. It's not something that's built to last. And if it was better aspected, I would say, okay, this could at least be playful and some good memories. But no, because everything else is so restricted and so in opposition to its natural energy, so out of its own sense of self. This new moon really brought to our attention how much we're being held back, or we feel like we're being held back or deprived of those things in our life that we really want and that we really care about, or that we really want to happen. And so what we're going to do, and how maybe we're self-sabotaging. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take these little micro rebellions, little indulgences, and we're going to make ourselves sick with them. That's 100% what's going to happen right now. Because what it's really working toward is showing us how our lack of discipline, maybe how our lack of commitment, has hindered us. And the tighter the constraints, the more you've got to sort of make up for in terms of personal discipline. Because there's a difference in the things that give us pleasure versus the things that actually make us happy. And right now, a lot of us are succumbing to instantaneous gratification and pleasures, because what we really want, we're actually kind of sad about. And so this channeled message is this. Beware for a lot of deviant behavior right now. That's disguising itself as wisdom or openness, open-mindedness, wokeness, freedom. Because remember, true freedom is self-discipline. Because if you discipline yourself, nobody else has to do it for you. And so, a lot of us right now, me included, I'm channeling this message for that reason, we're getting to a point where we're frazzled. We don't feel in control of our lives. And so we're acting out in these little ways that make us feel more in control, but we're really just settling for pleasures when what makes us happy is elusive to us. Or we feel like what makes us happy is constantly just out of reach. And we're going to be reminded by that. And that was the real challenge of this new moon. All this tightness, all these restrictions on it, conjunct to Mercury in retrograde, so not really thinking clearly and being very maybe introspective about times or situations, or especially in opposition to Jupiter, times where we couldn't be free or we couldn't do what we wanted to do. And so we are acting out. I think a lot of people this whole week are going to be acting out. It's not going to last long. It's not going to be forever. Unless it holds over to the end of the week. Because that's when Venus conjuncts Pluto in opposition to Mars. And that can create some real tension in relationships. And that's when some real truths can come out that end up having a permanent impact for shit that should have just been stupid in passing. So watch yourself over these next couple of days. Maybe you're going to eat a little bit too much because it's holiday season anyway. But hold yourself back from any of those indulgences or pleasures that you're not going to be able to come back from. When Venus is trying to Uranus, watch out for getting real comfortable with the cheating, with the flirting, with the doing something off cusp, doing something out of character, doing something a little bit freaky. But if you can't take it back, and it goes to the extreme by the end of this week, and Venus is in opposition to Mars because she's conjunct to Pluto, this is not going to be, this is the energy that destroys relationships. This is the energy that destroys what could have been a good thing. This is the energy that destroys maybe even financial situations. Please, 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 over the next few days, just don't do anything or make any choices that could create a permanent situation just because of a temporary pleasure. That's the thing that I would really try to watch out for. Venus conjunct to Pluto doesn't last long because Venus moves pretty quickly. But she's very obsessive in that position. And she's very, and after being trine to Uranus, where she's very, very fun, very, very playful, very, very open-minded, and she goes to Pluto and it's like, now she's darker. Now she's freakier. Now she's more into extremes. And the fact that that opposition to Mars, Venus opposite Mars, there's clash there, there's tension there. So whatever has to be cleansed by that point is going to be cleansed by the end of this week or into next week. There's going to be a major cleansing that's happening with regards to the ways that we've overindulged or the ways that we've tricked ourselves or played with our own minds thinking that temporary pleasures can somehow lead to long-term happiness, because they actually can't. And sometimes you just have to withstand the frustration. Sometimes even the best situations are frustrating, and you just got to get through them. Got to hold tight to your faith. You got to hold tight to your truth, your integrity. Everybody eats a little bit too much. Sometimes maybe we flirt with people we shouldn't, but don't make any permanent decisions right now. This is when the bad mistakes will creep up. And I'm just letting y'all know that it could make some permanent damage to situations that really it's just like, get through it. Because we could get through it. There's no problem there. You can absolutely get through these times when you're just frustrated and you're feeling like nothing is moving forward, or 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, that kind of energy. It's Mercury retrograde. A lot of planets are still in retrograde. It's going to happen. That is not a big deal. Slow down and rediscover your faith and recognize that things aren't always supposed to live up to your expectations, number one. And number two, move fast. It is holiday season, at least in North America where I live. It's holiday season. So it's time to slow down anyway. It's almost like a gift to the holiday season, slowing everybody down, remembering people, getting in touch with people that we haven't talked to in a while. All of that is normal for holiday season. All of that is natural. But there are going to be some demons that come up. There are going to be some demons that creep up because of this need to overindulge, because of this feeling of being ignored or restricted or out of sorts with yourself and uncomfortable. And I can tell you right now, there will be some shit you can't come back from. Like, watch what this moment says about you. Always, that's what astrology teaches us. It teaches us about ourselves. What does it say about ourselves? How we react in these situations? What does it say about who you really are? What you're really capable of allowing? Because that's what really gets exposed, is your true capacities, is your truth. It's not anybody else's. Everybody's always looking at everybody else. Astrology is the study of the self. Don't get that twisted. Everybody always asks about everybody else in these readings. Astrology is the study of you. So what's getting revealed is really what you're capable of. And some of that shit you're not going to be able to put away. You're not going to be able to take it back. When people see you for who you really are, it's not just about, oops, I made a mistake. It's, oops, I made a choice. And now everybody could see that I could have chosen differently. So that's not a mistake. That's a choice. And it is our choices that reveal who we really are. Who are you really? Who do you want to be? And are you aligning yourself with who you really want to be? Or are you allowing yourself to settle for what's easy? I want you to think about that, especially over this next week. And if you really, really want to set yourself up for success and start a beautiful new cycle and reach beyond these restrictions, you will behave as the person you want to be. Even in the scenario of being denied everything you desire. You will behave as that person that already has. And I don't mean go out and buy yourself a Porsche because you want to be rich. I mean remaining in gratitude and saying thank you and feeling rich for what you already have. Those are the kind of energies and those are the kind of people that are going to be able to set themselves up for true success coming out of this energy. Because Saturn is really testing us. It's making things difficult. It's really making it challenging to be able to move forward. It's kind of almost perfectionist, the sense of, okay, I want to expand, but you have to expand through these rules, these laws, these regulations. You have to do it the right way. But that's also good, because if you do it the right way, it's built to last. And so if it's moving slower, that's fine. Because things that are built slower and with more integrity will last longer and ultimately hold more value. So if we act out, we're going to throw ourselves behind. I just sucked down about 1,000 calories that I shouldn't have had to burn. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to have to. I set myself back. So watch out, because Venus is trine to Uranus, and she's going to be very, very comfortable, especially being in Capricorn, which is restrictive enough on her. But semi-square to Saturn and semi-square to the new moon and Mercury retrograde, she's not happy. And trine to Uranus, she's going to use that trine to act out. Not to try new things or have fun, but to escape into pleasures. Because she's really not happy. And that's what we should focus on now. What makes us happy? What is our real happy? What do we really love? What do we really care about? Even if you can't be with those things right now, even if you can't hold them or see them on a scale or count the money, hold true to them. Hold true to the understanding that you deserve them. And be grateful for where you are right now, because gratitude is the river on which abundance flows. And that's the kind of energy, that's the kind of focus that's actually going to get you very far right now in this very chaotic, distractible, and disappointing energy. Don't give up permanent happiness for temporary pleasures. Watch out this week. I love you guys.